How did I turn this into this for under $2,000?
Hey everybody, it is Ben with Red Barn, and I'm going to apologize because I keep looking at the wrong part. I don't look at the camera. I look over here at myself. So if I'm looking at myself, I apologize. Anyways, here in the shop this morning, and I'm putting together this video because one of the problems that all woodworkers have. See that beautiful sander back there? Look at that thing. Did you know that I offer custom sanding on that big, beautiful 54-inch sander? Sure do. If you're here local, even if you're not local, you can ship in big slabs, tabletops up to 54 inches wide. 54 inches wide. Contact me. You can contact me at ben@redbarnhomefurnishings.com or directly in the comments, or you can give us a call at 330-868-8556 and ask for Ben, and I will get you set up custom sanding jobs on that big, beautiful sander. Anyways, today I'm going to be tackling one of the biggest problems that we have as woodworkers, especially guys like myself who cut all my own lumber. I cut all my own lumber. I only buy lumber from time to time. There's the chickens down there. I only buy lumber from time to time with special orders like exotics, or if the customer wants something that's bigger than what I have in stock or bigger than what I've cut. Because as everybody knows, when you're cutting your own lumber, from when you cut the tree down to when that lumber is actually usable is about 18 months to 2 years, depending on the thickness of the wood. So the rule of thumb is it's a year of air drying, right, for every inch of thickness. So we start the air drying process up in the upstairs of a barn. And if I haven't, I don't think I have in a while, but I should do a walkthrough of the barn. I kind of want to wait till I get everything done before I do. But anyways, so one of the problems I have is all this wood needs to be in storage. And you can see here our storage process for these big slabs in the wood that I have is not, it's not ideal, to say the least. And a part of that is because we are operating in a retired dairy barn. I mean, up until 1983, there was dairy cows in here, and this is where they slept, in these old stanchions. And the part that I've renovated in the last year and been slowly working into also used to be bedding areas. And now I've moved out here. The storage is, it kind of sucks. To give you an idea here, it just, when we first started using this space, I never imagined that I'd be at the volume that I currently am. So as I'm growing, it's time to change the storage. And a big step of that was I got more stanchions closed off, removed, put in new concrete, and today I'm going to build pallet racking here to hold slab wood. Now, today we're just doing this portion. Obviously, there's all this stuff over here behind me that I need to process. It's a time-consuming and large money-gobbling process. So I'm doing this in stages. When we have some extra capital from business, we're going to add some stuff, but that's not often because, as everybody knows, woodworking, if you want to become a millionaire as a woodworker, you start out as a billionaire. Anyways, especially when there's guys out there doing stuff for free and bleeding the profit margins for guys like myself who actually pay the bills doing this, and feed my kids and stuff doing this. So anyways, I needed to come up with a better way to store all this lumber that I cut. And today I'm building my own pallet racks to do that. I looked into getting metal pallet racks, and a lot of people are going to be like, you should have bought this, you should have bought that. Once again, doing everything on a budget. That's another big thing that everybody has to tackle. Nobody has unlimited funds. If they do, they're the guys that are doing this crap for free and bleeding the markets, or bleeding the margins rather. So I did look into pallet racks. I looked into used pallet racks. My bigger concerns were how much weight they would hold. The pallet racks that could really carry the weight like they have at hardware stores and lumber yards are just way out of my budget. Way out of my budget. Can't do it. Just to get the ones from Uline that hold 7,000 pounds per rack, per set, right? We're at a 16-foot expansion here, and they hold 7,000 pounds per double rack. I'm putting in double racks. To get that to cover this space, which is roughly 32 feet, two 16-foot sections, that would have cost right around $4,000 plus installation. And that was including material prices, shipping, and all the things that you need to come with it. So what I'm doing is I bought my own 6x6s and 2x10s, and I'm boosting this whole thing up. You'll see as we go through this how I do it. Design my own. I've made my own in the past that I disassembled when we expanded stuff, and I'm making 32-foot double deck pallet rack today, and I'm doing it all for $1,750. $1,750 is all I've spent to build this double pallet rack, and it's going to be able to hold twice the load that the store-bought metal ones would carry. So at least twice the load. So be sure to follow along as I go. I'm sure people are going to point out things that they don't agree with, that I did wrong or something like that. Feel free to put comments in there. Give me suggestions, because I still have more to build. I have to build the pallet racks for over here and the other side, so I can get all this wood up in the air in more efficient storage, have finished product pallet racks over there. But today we're tackling this, and we're going to be building a plywood rack down at the end there. All right. Hope everybody enjoys the video, and let's get to building. All right, got all set up. Wanted to give everybody the tools that I'm using for the day to do all this. I'm going to be doing like a mortise and tenon style with 6x6s and 2x10s to put it all together. But obviously I got an 8-foot ladder there. I got my Festool Capex with a dust extraction unit on it. I have my T75 track saw from Festool with a 6-inch track. I know the or a 6-foot track. I know the track's too big. It's the smallest track I have. I use them for tables. I am making the adjustment. I am Marine Corps-ing this and overcoming with the tools that I have. So anybody wants to be like, your track's too big, I know it is. But I don't do this every day. I don't do it for a living, so I'm using what I got. Also, using my T18 Festool drill. I got some clamps, my Speed Square Hillman 3.5-inch screws. I'm also going to be driving in some bigger 4 and 7-inch screws depending on where we're at. The idea is we're going to be building a 4-foot deep, 16-foot long rack that goes from floor to ceiling with multiple levels. So this is the last, maybe, that I'm going to talk right now. The rest of it will be me talking about it, voiceover or Laney, depending on who we have do it. But be sure to, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And if there's something that you think is grossly obvious that I'm doing wrong, but it's still working, I am from Appalachia. Cut me some slack. It's called being a hillbilly. All right, everybody have a good day. Follow along. I hope you enjoy me building my pallet racks.
Well, first things first, with every project, you got to get your materials. And as everybody knows, I love Harco Hardware. That's where I buy all my framing material, all my construction material comes from Harco Hardware. They deliver it right to my front door. It is absolutely fantastic. I love this little machine. You can get around in places. I wish I had something like that, but got all the material from Hartville Hardware, everything, including the gloves I'm wearing. I forget the name of the gloves, but I love these things. Let's get this thing unpackaged. They always have it packaged up so well with their beautiful Hartville Hardware tarp. But getting this thing undone, unstrapped, and starting to separate out the wood. As you can see, it's 6x6s and 2x10s. We're really making some beefy pallet racks here, and going to start moving this stuff around. Remember, as you're watching the video, be sure to like and subscribe, leave comments, like and subscribe. That's super important, because you'll get to continue to see new content we're bringing out. We always appreciate every single subscriber, every single like. You really have no idea how much your support means, especially here on YouTube, because we're not huge YouTubers, because at the end of the day, uh, selling furniture is how I make my money, but all the support that we get on these YouTube videos really helps everything out. It gets our name out there. The more our name gets out there, the more furniture I get to build and the more cool things I get to do. So really appreciate every single subscriber. Be sure to share this on your stories. Be sure to share this on Facebook, Instagram, any place that you can share it. Every single view, every single subscriber means the absolute world to me. Yes, I'm carrying that 16-foot 6x6 by my lonesome, or is it 12? It's 12. I'm sorry. It's a 12-foot 6x6. Yes, I'm carrying it by myself. Be sure to use your legs when you're lifting heavy objects like that. But let's go ahead and speed this up and get the rest of this lumber moving. All right, what's the most important thing when you're starting a project is getting your first measurements. So went ahead, pulled up my 8-foot ladder, measuring floor to ceiling. If I remember correctly, it's like 135 inches, something like that. Now I'm measuring up to the top of the roof, because I got to tie into the rafters. I think that was 156. You have to double check me. But getting those measurements, now it's time to get the level. This is an old barn. We did have to grade this a little bit, so I'm busting out my level here and gonna figure out what exactly my difference is in drop from the back of the wall to the front of where the deck is gonna be. Looks like
All right, hey everybody. Sorry that you can't hear me so good. I have the mic on and I've got corn blasting in these earbuds right now. So if I sound weird, that's why. But giving you an update where I'm at. You've just seen that I did the mortises, cut those out for the 6x6s inside of these big 6x6s. So you can see I went ahead and sistered those in. I have these mortises set right here. I used kind of a cheater board to make sure that I was at the right distance. To show you where that is over here. I've got my next ones, my next 6x6s sitting ready to go in. But I used this cheater board here. I figured out what my length needed to be, which is 52.5 inches. Measured that out, set it up, leveled this, and have this whole setup ready to go, all sistered in, tied into the building. So next I'm going to cut that 6x6 to length so I can set that, and then I'm going to go ahead and set these other two 6x6s, tie those into the building, these two guys. And the reason I want to do that is I really don't feel like carrying a 6x6 for the second layer up a ladder. So I want to build my first layer, my first level. I want to get all this tied in, build my first level first. I keep looking over here instead of over here. Build my first level first and then work off of that for my second. That just seems to make sense to me. Somebody might think that that's not smart. I don't know. Maybe they think it is smart. Say in the comments, I guess, either way. But to me, it makes a hell of a lot more sense to work off of the first level instead of ladders when it comes to working with these big 6x6s. Same as when you're building a house or anything like that. You build the floor first and then you work off of that. You don't frame all the way up and then start sheeting, you know? So that's the way I'm looking at it. So right now, I've got these big 6x6s tied in. You can see a couple 2x4s tying into the original post. I set my depth because I want a 48-inch deep pallet rack. And then I have my other one tied in over there to the other post, all with 2x4s and big ass screws. So let's see if I can get this cut right here for this cross member done. And I'm gonna use my favorite tool for cutting 6x6s, my chainsaw. So let's have fun with this. All right, so next, wasn't sure if I was going to explain this or not, and I might not include this, but next we've got the cross members in. See on this first two sections. I still have another section to make, going to keep working on that. But next is going to be the joists themselves, the floor joists. So regular floor joists are, everybody knows, every 16 on center. And I'm going to do every 8 on center with these 2x10s to create a deck that's super strong and is going to be able to carry all this load. All right, I'm going to tie this into the front and the back, and also this side beam right here, all going to get tied in, and let's go ahead and move on with that.
All right, next is to make my end board. This is something that I learned a long time ago when I used to work in construction back when I was in my 20s, making an M board here. What I'm doing is, this seems simple to a lot of people who've done this for a long time, but if you've never done this, I'm just simply marking where my joists are going to go, where my floor joists are going to go. I'm going every 8 inches. Like I said, I'm doing 8 inch on center. And always remember, when you're marking these out, you want to mark over 3/4 of an inch from center. That's your line. And then the side that you want the joist to sit on, you throw an X. And now I'm transferring that over to the board, my cross members, so everything matches up, so my joists all fall exactly where they're supposed to, so I'm totally square on both ends. I'm going to use that same method to mark everything out here. So just to explain what I'm doing, it seems simple to people who have done it for a long time, but if you've never done any framing work, just marking out the joists so everything lines up is nice and square. I also want to remind everybody, as you watch me do this, to be sure to like and subscribe on the video, and follow us on Instagram at red_barn_home, TikTok red_barn_home, Facebook Red Barn Home Furnishings, and once again here on YouTube. If you're already watching the video, you know where we're at, but please be sure to like and subscribe and share. Every single subscriber means the absolute world to me. I truly appreciate it. Once again, everybody I hope you're enjoying the video and you're learning something. Thanks. All right, that was the first section of the first deck was completed. Moving on to the second bit of joists here. Got to apologize. I had to turn the volume off. We're going to switch over to some music here because my dog that you see sitting there on the floor, she's a puppy, and she got my earbuds and chewed them up, and I had to switch over to a regular old speaker that you see it sitting up on that deck there. And there's all sorts of copyrighted music for the rest of the video that's playing, so you're not going to get to hear any more sped up audio of me working, but I'm going to put in these joists, move on. It's the same process that I was doing for the first part, and just chugging along with these. And you're going to add the rest of this rack and then also the top racks. So we're going to speed this up a good bit here. Once again, I'd like to remind everybody to like and subscribe. Follow us here on YouTube. Really, every single follower is very, very appreciated. And then also be sure to check us out on Instagram at red_barn_home. Like and follow us there. Also on TikTok, red_barn. Oh my gosh, I did it again. red_barn_home. And on Facebook, Red Barn Home Furnishings. So please be sure to give us a follow. Enjoy the rest of this. I'm going to speed this up and we're going to add some music and get to see how this turned out for me. It really was a great project. See here, I'm trimming some boards down to get to the right length, but what a great project. Hope everybody enjoys.
All right, everybody. So, been working on this deck. It is finally done. I just said that it was going to skip on to the second part. Second part went together exactly like the first level. Did the exact same thing. Second level. Now I have a 3-level, counting the floor, a 3-level decking system here, or pallet rack, or whatever you want to call it, where I can really store some heavy duty stuff. Once again, this is made out of 6x6s in a mortise and tenon fashion, and then 2x10s, 8-inch on center. Over top of that, we have the 3/4 inch subfloor. Then it's screwed in every 16 inches on center. Sorry for hitting the mic. Screwed in every 16 inches, and then across every floor joist, which you can see I have them marked there. So that was all put together, and I know somebody's going to be like, well, is it level? Is it level? That's the question. So I've got a level right here up on the second story. Looks level to me. I got a level over here on the first level. Looks level to me. So both are perfectly level. We're level moving back, level across. So we're going to be able to load hopefully tens of thousands of pounds of lumber up on here. I did it all for under $2,000, and then the manpower, obviously. Total build time. This got spread over a number of days because I have people, interrupting, or I have to stop to build furniture or whatever. But total build time was, for me by myself, we're looking at 3 8-hour days. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed this. I'm going to include some pictures here at the end with this thing loaded up, and I'll be sure to share the next video. Also, hey, I keep looking in the wrong place, and I apologize. But be sure to like and subscribe. I'm sure somebody's going to make comments about something I did wrong in their opinion. But please be sure to like and subscribe and follow us here on YouTube. Going to have lots more great content coming out. I think next I'm going to be doing a plywood rack for my veneer plywoods in my epoxy form. So be sure to like and subscribe so you can see that one and you can learn how I do that. All right, everybody have a great day.